Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome to the Poke Resort for the first main series video of 2015. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire have been out for about 2 months now, and it's time to reflect on the game just a little bit. Many new Pokemon got new Mega Evolutions for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, whether they were expected Mega Evolutions or ones that no one even saw coming. Today, I am going to give my top 10 on Pokemon that should have gotten Mega Evolutions for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but did not get one. These will be strictly Hoenn Pokemon and not any other generation, because I believe only Hoenn Pokemon should have gotten Mega Evolution, since this is a Hoenn remake after all. Don't forget, this is 100% opinionated, so if you do not agree, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But now, let's just get into the top 10. Zangoose and Seviper. Yes, I did start the 10th spot with 2 Pokemon, and that is because these Pokemon basically go along together, so I thought I'd put them together as one option. Both of these Pokemon aren't completely viable in the competitive battling field, and they don't even have any other Pokemon in their evolution line to make them stronger, so I thought it would be nice to show these guys some evolution love and give it a Mega. Also, how great of a mini story could Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had if there was some kind of war between the Zangoose and Seviper and you had to take both of their leaders on, which were Mega Zangoose and Mega Seviper, or they could have made them first exclusive. Like, this was such an obvious idea to incorporate in the story. I am shocked Pokemon did not do this. Hariyama. Okay, this kind of goes along with my pairing example for Zangoose and Seviper. If Medicham gets a Mega Evolution, then it should only be fair if Hariyama were to get one as well. But Pokemon doesn't seem to play fair too often. Hariyama is a Pokemon that could use a boost to most of its stats. It is a huge fighting Pokemon, so you think that this Pokemon would have good defensive stats to go along with powerful offensive stats. But you are very wrong. Its defense and special offense are only base 60. Since this Pokemon is pretty big, it's also pretty slow with a mediocre speed stat of base 50. Hariyama is a strong hitter, but will never get the chance to land a big hit with terrible speed like that, and probably being knocked out right away with the base 60 defense. A Mega Evolution would be perfect for this Pokemon just to give it the defensive boost to make it completely viable and move on to the OU tier. Exploud. If only this Pokemon was as strong as it looks. The anger in this thing's eyes and the excruciating noise this Pokemon can make should make any Pokemon be intimidated by this thing. That is, until it attacks you and realizes that this could be one of the most deceiving Pokemon in the game, and that this thing better start running away from you. Only one of Exploud's stats are over 100, and it's its HP. You could use this Pokemon as either a special or physical attacker, since they are exactly the same at 91 base power, but let's be honest, you're not going to use this Pokemon at all. With a base 68 speed stat and very bad defensive stats, there's really no reason at all to have this Pokemon on your team unless if you want it for strictly luck, because that's really all it has going for it. This also is a 3rd stage evolution, and Pokemon has not done a 4th stage Mega Evolution yet, and I don't believe they ever will. That leaves Exploud with 1 chance and 1 chance only, Mega Evolution. That is the only thing left that will make this Pokemon useful in the competitive battling field, so I feel it would be necessary for Pokemon to give it to him. Shiftry. Shiftry doesn't have much going for it stat-wise, with its best stat being at base 100 attack. Everything else is just okay, and nothing really stands out enough to consider using it in the OU level. This Pokemon could be a good UU Pokemon just because its base 80 speed stat and base 100 attack would be considered good enough to use as a solid Pokemon in that tier. Just like Exploud, Shiftry is a 3rd stage evolution, so it can't get a Mega Evolution, and a Mega is the only thing left to make this thing stronger. This Pokemon is also a very fierce looking Pokemon, and to make this thing even angrier, it could just add an all-white beard with some cane that it could use some crazy grass move. I don't even know, but I feel like this Pokemon would look awesome, giving it some kind of an elder looking Mega Evolution, something I'd really look forward to if Pokemon were to give it one. Tropius. Tropius is one of the best looking Pokemon in the game, and it has just been ignored ever since it's been created in 3rd gen. This Pokemon is a freaking dinosaur. Why is this thing not even given any attention? It should have already had an evolution by now and a Mega on top of that, yet apparently Pokemon just doesn't care. It's only been a main Pokemon in 2 episodes in the background in the other 2. This Pokemon has so much potential based on its looks, and it has virtually no potential based on its stats, which is just another reason why it needs a Mega Evolution. It doesn't even have one base stat over 100, and that's pretty sad for a dinosaur. Every stat on this Pokemon is mediocre, and if it were to Mega Evolve, it would definitely have stat boost in every single area. I was interested in this Pokemon based on looks alone, but its terrible stats and not a very expanded moveset got me to want to use a different grass Pokemon in the Hoenn region. A Mega Evolution will fix everything on this Pokemon and make it something I definitely want to use in the competitive battling field and in a regular playthrough. Melodic. This is one of the most beautiful looking Pokemon in the game, and giving it a Mega would just make it even more elegant. If this Pokemon wasn't built on strength for a Mega Evolution, I would like to see it be one of the hardest Pokemon to beat in a Pokemon contest. I'd easily rather see Lucia have a Mega Melodic than a Mega Altaria. Melodic's first stage Feebas is one of the hardest Pokemon to catch in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so why not make this Pokemon a little more unique and give the evolution of Feebas a Mega Evolution that only 6% of Pokemon have. Mightyena. Mightyena is just another one of those starting Pokemon thrown into the beginning of the game to give the starting trainer some starting Pokemon on their team to hold them over until they find something better to use. The only difference here is that Mightyena is one of the most badass looking basic Pokemon to have ever been created. However, it got the curse of being one of the first Pokemon to catch, and which always seems to result in god-awful stats. It was nice to see that Poochyena you could catch had an egg move in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire to at least give you some type of advantage in the game. The main reason I want to use a Mega Evolution for this Pokemon is because its design is so cool to not give it a Mega Evolution it deserves for not only physical characteristics, but to give it a bump to strength, where I would just want to use this also in competitive battling. Swellow. Okay, explain to me how Pidgeot got a Mega Evolution for a Hoenn remake, but not Swellow. It really just didn't make any sense to me why they did that. Yeah, Pidgeot did need a Mega Evolution, but this game was about Hoenn and should have stayed that way. Swellow is just another starting bird Pokemon you encounter at the beginning of the game and keep it along the team for the HM Fly rather than Strength. Talonflame was one of the first bird Pokemon to really break the weak starting bird Pokemon trend, and by break, I mean crushed. I'm sure all of you know exactly what I mean if you played this Pokemon in any kind of competitive battling game and went against this beast. Stupid Wings, brave bird. But let's get back to Swellow now. Stats like base 60 HP, 85 attack, 60 defense, 50 special attack, and special defense aren't gonna get you anywhere, even if its speed stat is at 125. It may tend to attack first, but it isn't going to do any damage if you're looking to attack. This Pokemon also has a great design, so to see a Mega Evolution design would have been amazing. Torkoal. I'm already pretty bitter that Pokemon decided to put basically two fire Pokemon in the game, Torkoal and Numel/Camerupt, not including the starter. I know the game is based on water, but come on now. The least Pokemon could have done was give the other fire-type Torkoal a Mega Evolution like Camerupt got. Torkoal is a great looking Tauros Pokemon with some much needed stat boost to give it the edge it needs. A lot of people aren't a fan of catching the Pokemon Evil Organization has, so that's why I never caught Camerupt when I played Omega Ruby and Ruby version. 20 speed also isn't exactly a nice stat, but clearly understandable considering it's a Tauros. Flygon. Let's be honest guys, do I even need an explanation for this one? Well, that is it for my first top 10 video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, please hit that like button because it helps out the channel more than you know. Also, if you want to see more quality videos like this one, please hit that subscribe button too. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.